We had a client that we worked with, and she was really struggling with profitability. She kept raising tuition. She actually did 3 tuition increases within a 15-month cycle, and she still could not catch up. So I helped her work with our 6 money leaks in schools, and she only used 3 of the 6 money leaks and cut her expenses by 50%. 50. She did not fire anyone. She did not slash any of her programs, and she did not work more hours. Again, the 6 money leaks are not hacks or spreadsheets. These are patterns. They are small decisions that feel so normal that your school does, but they quietly drain your school's profit. So if you've ever wondered why you're working so hard, but still not seeing the return, this is your first step to clarity. Click the link in the show notes and find out what it's actually costing you.
Welcome to the Schools of Excellence podcast, where we have conversations about education, leadership, and building a school of excellence. The goal on this show is to bring you clarity, up-level your mindset, and give you practical strategies and inspiration so you can show up with confidence and trust your decision-making. I'm Chani Wolshansky. I'm a mom of 4 under 10, a former New Yorker, and been in the early childhood field my entire life. And I'm so grateful that you've joined me for this conversation. Welcome to another episode of the Schools of Excellence podcast. Today, I'm talking about something very different than I usually talk about on the podcast. I'm talking about personal leadership and specifically leadership in your home. I'm really blessed to be the mother of 4 children, ages 3 to 10. And for anyone that's listening to this that are parents, know that children require a tremendous amount of time and attention. And what's even more than that is they're usually competing for your attention and your partner's attention at the exact same time, right? Each child is calling from a different part of the house. And so I know that as a parent, I want to be filling their buckets. I want to ensure that they feel that their home is a safe haven for them, that their parents are their rocks and they could always turn to them for support, that we will hear what they have to say and that we listen without interrupting or getting distracted. So just like I spoke about in the episode on the gratitude matrix and on the primary role of the school leader, as well as the myth of the open door policy, those are all those sustainable actions that the leader needs to take to create a culture where staff feel seen and heard and valued. Well, I want to flip this to the house right now because this is the Schools of Excellence podcast. This is a podcast about how to build and sustain excellence within your life. And so how do we ensure that our children feel seen and heard and valued and respected through all of life's challenges and hurdles? We want our children to know that home is a place that they will be embraced unconditionally. And so how do we create this, right? How do we actually create this? Besides for praying and wishing, which are super important, we need to take practical action steps. So I'm going to share with you today some of the things that Mayor and I, my husband's name is Mayor, what we do together to ensure this. So the first thing is we date our kids. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that every month there is a time on the calendar that each of us take each of our children out on a one-on-one date. So how do we make time for this? Well, in the beginning of the month, we look at our calendars. Yes, we actually have Wolshansky crew calendars. We are the CEOs of our house. We have 4 children. And so we are co-CEOs in raising our children. And so just like you have a calendar that you're looking at, are there special events? Is there a holiday coming up? We look at the same thing. We look at the school calendars, our calendar, special events, holidays, all the things. And we say, okay, where are we intentionally putting time to take out each of our children on a one-on-one date? Now, where we're taking them changes depending on the age of the child or the season. So sometimes we'll go out for breakfast, sometimes we'll go on a bike ride, sometimes we'll do, I took my son to arcades one time. We did something super fun. Mayor took Goldie out to the beach on a one-on-one date. It really doesn't matter where you're going. It's just about the 30 minutes of one-on-one time that's focused specifically on them. So why do we do it? So I'm going to share with you my top 4 reasons for why I choose to make this a priority in my life, why this is part of the primary role of who I am as a parent. So number 1, experiences create connection. Experiences create connection. When you experience something with someone else, it creates connection between the two of you. The memory of what you did together is always in their mind. And so that's why we do dates, because those experiences further and deepen the relationship that we have with our child. Number two is, I love saying, want me to tell you what your values are? Show me your calendar and your bank account, right? So we value our children and the family that we're creating. So if we value it, then it needs to be on our calendar. There needs to be a dedicated time that the kids see, I'm on my mommy's calendar, right? When I date my child, it sends a very clear message to them. I am choosing to invest time with you and organize and create my schedule and calendar around spending time with you. You are so important to me in my life that I'm going to put you on my calendar. Super, super important, and sends such a powerful message to the child. Reason number three is relationships are living and breathing. Okay. The scene Fiddler on the Roof, right? It was one of the first movies I ever watched. And I also saw it live as a play. And he asks Golda, do you love me? Right. And he responds, I told you I love you when we got married. Right. I wash your clothes for you. I do this for you. I do this for you. Like, I do all these things. Has any of that changed? Are we good? Like, I told you I love you when we got married, and I do all these things for you. But the reality is she wanted to hear, and he wanted to hear, I love you. They wanted to hear those words, right? Because the reality of our relationships and with our children is that they're ever evolving, right? And so I have a responsibility as a parent that this needs to be part of the daily activity of my life. And I need to intentionally be telling my kids, I love you. I'm here. I'm spending time with you. You are the focus of the next 30 minutes. My eyes are on you. My time, attention, my mental energy, my emotional capacity is all for you in these next 30 minutes. It's your time. I'm here for you. I want to introduce you to one of our owners who started in our Directors Inner Circle, moved through our Owners HQ, and is now in our CEO Legacy Group. She started with us in 2018 and has seen massive growth in her company and her organization and the way that she has developed an accountable culture. I want you to meet Missy Griffin as she shares the impact that accountability has had on her school.
In my head, I always think WWCD, which is what would Connie do? Because I always think I'm going to have to, there's so much accountability with this program when you're in the inner circle, like where we have to, on Fridays, tell you what a win was and a loss or something we're struggling with. And you have to be accountable for what you're doing to this group of women. So that helps. And then also just always having in my mind that I'm here to take care of my teachers so my teachers can take care of the kids. So that rings in my head constantly.
If you want more information on our Directors Inner Circle or our other memberships for early childhood leaders, you can go to hani.me/join the DIC or click the links in the show notes. All right, let's get back to our show. Reason number 4 is building up the emotional bank account and currency with my child, right? So I'm not a perfect parent. No one is. I can get grumpy. I can get tired. I can snap at my kids after a long day. I do all of those things because I've never strived for perfection, and I never aim to be a perfect parent. I strive for excellence. And I know that these small imperfections that I do consistently, they wear and tear on the relationship with a child. But I do know that when I take dedicated one-on-one time and I show my child through my actions how much I care about them, how much I love them, why they mean so much for me, why I'm grateful every day for the gift of their presence in my life, right? And they get to share with me their joys, their jokes, their struggles from home, from school, their teachers, their friends, just any of the stuff that they want to share with me. Right. And I ask them intentional questions, which are, who did you sit next to at lunch today? Tell me who you played with on the playground. Is there anything interesting you learned at circle time today? Tell me something new that you learned when you were with your friends at the basketball court, right? Depending on the age of the child, you're going to ask developmentally appropriate questions that really create connection. You're not looking for yes or no questions like, did you have fun at school today? You're digging. You want to know more about them, right? Their joys, their jokes, their struggles, their hobbies, things that they're fascinated about, stuff that they're curious. What do you want to learn more about? What parts of school are making you happy? What parts are, kind of annoying for you right now? Really digging in and getting to know them, because it's through these moments and through these windows of time that you get a glimpse into their beautiful life, into their ever evolving growth as beautiful human beings. And that's why we do it. That's why we take the time to create one-on-one dates. So I'll just recap the 4 reasons again. 1, experiences create connection. 2, whatever's in your calendar is what you value. 3, relationships are living and breathing. And 4, building the emotional bank account and currency with your child. So now I want to turn it to you for a second. If you have young children, or if you have teenagers, or you have adult married children, whatever it is, we want to be spending time and creating moments with our kids, because whenever someone asks us, who are the most important people in your life, you always say, my husband, my kids, my partner, my kids. Well, your calendar should reflect that. Take the time to actually create that time on your calendar with your children. And I'm going to be recording a separate episode on what Mayor and I do and how we date each other consistently every single week. This is just about the kids. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Let us know in the Facebook group where we continue the conversation. Have you ever dated your kids? And is this something that you want to try and do with your children to continue and build those beautiful relationships? If you are loving the Schools of Excellence podcast and have gotten any value out of it for your school, I would love if you can do 2 things for me. 1, subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. And 2, can you please leave us a review? Reviews help other school leaders know that this is the place to learn how to build a school of excellence. And I would be so grateful if you can do that for us. Your help and support makes this show to be able to be listened by the thousands of other school leaders all around the world. Thanks so much for listening, for giving us your time and attention each and every week, and I appreciate that you have joined us.
If your accountant has ever told you to cut back on professional development or slash your teacher appreciation budget or your staff development budget just so you could stay afloat, or has told you, hey, you probably can't go invest in that program, please listen. The problem is not that you're spending too much money on your people or yourself or your investment or your support system. It's that your school has invisible money leaks that are draining your profit, leaks that no spreadsheet will ever catch or accountant. So I created the 6 money leaks of schools that show you the 6 core areas that schools lose money every single month without realizing it. If you close even one of them, your profits will start to soar without sacrificing your team. Go get it now and stop blaming the things that are actually building your school.